Welcome. You're listening to the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, creatively engineered by Nicole, the inspiration specialist. I'm Wired to Inspire is a powerfully packed 5-minute podcast filled with inspiration and encouragement to get you through your day. It's designed to inspire you to live your authentic purpose. Now stay tuned for your host, Nicole, the inspiration specialist, on today's episode of I'm Wired to Inspire.
It's Wired to Inspire Wednesdays with Nicole, the inspiration specialist.
Hey everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today on my podcast. It is Wired to Inspire Wednesdays, and every Wednesday we do a special anecdote type of story that gives you food for thought. Now, this one I thought was really amazing, and it's definitely something that will cause you to think. Now, you could be on either side of the spectrum, and when you hear the story, you'll know why. And of course, after I will elaborate. And I want you guys to just think about exactly where you fit in, if it applies at all. So here it goes. Students at an elementary school were asked to write an essay about what they would like God to do for them. At the end of the day, while grading the essays, a teacher read one that made her very emotional. Her husband, who had just walked in, saw her crying and asked her what happened. She answered, "Read this. It's one of my school students' essays." Oh God. Tonight I ask you something very special. Make me into a television set. I want to take its place and live like the TV in my house. Have my own special place and have my family around me to be taken seriously when I talk. I want to be the center of attention and be heard without interruptions or questions. I want to receive the same special care as a TV set receives, even when it's not working. Have the company of my dad when he arrives home from work, even when he is tired. And I want my mom to want me when she is sad and upset instead of ignoring me. And I want my brothers to fight to be with me. I want to feel that family just leaves everything aside every now and then just to spend some time with me. And last but not least, ensure that I can make them all happy and entertain them. Lord, I don't ask you for much. I just want to live like a TV. At that moment, the husband said, "My God, poor kid. What horrible parents." The wife looked up at him and said, "That essay is our son's." That's food for thought, right? I want you to think about something. Some of you listening, you're the son. And you may be in a relationship or a situation where you literally feel like you need to be the TV. Because no matter what you've done, no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to get the attention of those who are in your life, and they're supposed to love you unconditionally and pay you mind and pay you attention and do things for you and to engage you as a person. And if you are that person, I want to encourage you. I want to inspire you to think like this little boy. You know what he did? He prayed. He talked to God about it. You know, as a boy, you can ask for many things. And most boys would ask for bikes and toys and video games and nowadays computers and phones and all kind of other things. But this little boy asked for something that would get the attention of his family, something of substance. So if you got nothing else from that, whatever is ailing you and whatever is causing you to feel alienated by those whom you love, bring it to God first, because God is the only one that can fix it for you. And once you give it to him, you have to allow him to work. And I thought it was so profound how even in this little story, the message got right back to the parents. Another reason why I want you to just look at God. Y'all, we can get caught up in the storyline because it is a tearjerker, right? But think about how much of a G God is. Right? Like, he got that mug right in the mother's hands. And it was a class assignment. So what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is this. That's how God is operating on our behalf right now. One of my girls just made a post and it said something like, favor is about to bring you your victory. And I'm just sitting here like, man, reading that story thinking, you know what's crazy? It was the favor of God to have that paper to end up end up in the hands of who the actual story was about. And what I need you to know is whatever it is you bring up to God, he will make sure that it gets into the hands who have to have it. He will make sure the person that needs to get it, they get it. That little boy don't know that happened. He just went to God out of the purity and the pure desire of his heart. And the Lord heard him. You are no different. He is no respecter of persons. So for the person who's the little boy, I want you to pray with that childlike wonder, and you bring it to the Father if you feel like you are in that same situation he's in, because there's more adults in that situation than children these days. Believe you me, the way electronics and all kind of other things have substituted the human condition concerning communication and really engaging people. Everybody shuts everybody out. It's text messages. It's all things that's non-relational. It's all things that cause you not to really have a fully developed relationship with somebody. It will cause wedges that we really didn't have to deal with in the past. And now we're just trying to find our way through these valleys and these peaks and these deserts because there's so much non-communication going on. You got to rely more on nonverbal cues and things that were secondary before. And it can cause you to feel like no one's there. It can cause you to feel like all you want are the people that God assigned to you. And I want you to think about this too. Your family, you don't pick. God gives you your family. So imagine feeling like, this is who you gave me, God. And they still don't want to have nothing to do with me. They still not talking to me. Like, this is what I have to go through. So that's why I want to encourage you. If he can do it for the little boy, he can do it for you. So you go to God in sincerity. You go to God in prayer. And whatever it is that needs to land, wherever it needs to land, he's going to do that. And all you have to do is be sincere, leave it at the altar, and keep it moving. And what I found beautiful was that you can tell, by the time it's all said and done, that whole TV routine in that house is going to be completely different. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot my shot with that and say, I'm just going to believe God that everything changed in that household, because that's actually a true story. So I want you all to think about something else. Now let's think about the parents, right? So if you are in a situation where someone has been telling you as of late that you have not been there, you have been absent, or you are focusing on other things and not the matter or the person or the situation at hand, and this may have sparked some type of uncomfortable feeling in you or some type of guilt, because perhaps there is some truth in this for you. I also want you to be encouraged as well, because guess what? Once the scales fall, y'all, that's when we can see. So it might not be something that makes you feel good. I will tell you this. If you honestly feel like, okay, God, I think this is the second or third time or fifth, 100th time I've heard this, I'm going to have to do something about this, and I'm going to have to change my behavior because I'm really hurting people that love me, or I'm hurting someone that I'm actually supposed to be there for. Okay. First thing you do, go back and fix it. Apologize. Call it out and say, hey, listen, I haven't been there for you. I know you may have needed me, but I haven't been there for you. And begin to work it out from there. So be encouraged, because everything can turn around. And the same way God knew those parents needed that, God also knows that you need to hear this as well. And it's okay. It is totally okay. What you don't want to do is make it a cyclical process where you keep hearing it over and over and over again, and you're not rectifying it. That's not what you want to do. Moving forward, you want to make sure that you do everything that God is telling you to do from here on out, because people, y'all, we are assigned to people. We're assigned to each other for different seasons and different reasons. And you don't want to wake up one day and realize that you failed your assignment. You don't want to realize that God is trying to put somebody in your path and you're constantly neglecting them. You have no time for them ever. You don't want to do that. I've been there, done that, bought this t-shirt on both sides. And especially when it's something made plain, when it's something that's put out there, you want to make sure that when it comes to you, the blood is not on your hands. And if you are coming into the revelation today that things need to change, well, then so be it. To God be the glory. And this is what we want you to focus on. Focus on making the change. Focus on bringing healing. Like the parents are going to have to go back and change the whole structure of the home because this little boy, this is a child feeling alienated like this by adults and other siblings. So this is something that needs to change. So whatever your situation may be, it may be your relationship, it may be your partnerships, it may be your friendships, it can be your coworkers. There are things that you may be neglecting and you're isolating yourself. And let me tell you, it's hurtful, it's painful, because this is something I want you to remember. When you get sick, your cell phone is not going to help you. You know, when you are in pain, when, things happen and life happens, your cell phone is not going to turn into money. Your cell phone is not going to be the thing or your technology or your TV or whatever. That is not going to be the thing to sustain you. It can't hug you. Okay. It can't hug you. It can't love on you. It cannot do only what a human being can do and what God has called a human being to do while we are here. So make sure that whatever that looks like for you, you take the time out to do your part. Because what's most important about this and what's most important about this season and time that God is doing, he's trying to line everybody up. He wants everybody to see it from both sides. And, before I close, I want to just remind you of the father in the story, and I think it was David. Was it David in the Bible? I think it was David. But when somebody was describing what David had done, he said, oh, man, well, you should kill him or you should do this and do that to him. And, in fact, he was talking about himself. Now, it could be that, or it could be, I think, maybe Mordecai in the book of Esther, because Mordecai was describing how he wanted, not Mordecai, y'all. Is it Haggai? I forget the guy's name. Oh, Lord. Haman. I'm sorry. Haman was talking about how you should do all of these horrible things to Mordecai because he thought that King Xerxes was going to honor him. But in fact, he was the one that he was talking about. So the punishment that he told the king he wanted to do to Mordecai ended up happening to him. So it was just like the father, when the father said, shame on them or whatever he said. And then he found out that the story was actually about him. So whatever place you fall into, again, today is Wired to Inspire Wednesdays. So we want to inspire you to get beyond this space. We want to inspire you back into love and the human condition and making sure that you become one with those that are close to you, that are assigned to you. Don't let an inanimate object ruin your family. Don't let it ruin your relationships. Don't let it stop what God is ordaining in the earth. Don't allow technology to be a curse. I believe technology was made to be a gift, but don't allow it to be a curse. And just remember something. The next time you feel like, God, this is hurting me. I don't know what to do. Just bring it to him. Keep it there and remind yourself that God is the one, not the TV, not the family, not the other people. God is the only one that can heal your heart. And for all the people involved, he's the one that can bring everybody back together. I'm wired to inspire. I hope you are too.
Thanks for listening to I'm Wired to Inspire podcast at I'mWiredToInspire.com. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word and be sure to hit the 5-star rating on iTunes. For more information on this podcast and inspirational products and services, log on to the inspirationspecialist.life or I'mWiredToInspire.com. And remember to live your authentic purpose. Thanks again, and see you next time.